Hey guys, SDI here, welcome back. And today I'm going to show you guys my latest acquisition. It is a Systema PTW. As you guys all know, the PTW is basically the Ferrari of airsoft guns. Anyone who owns a PTW will probably tell you that they would probably stick with the PTW for the rest of their lives, because a PTW just functions very crisp. It just functions much smoother than a standard AEG, and it's just, more realistic, and it's nicer, basically. But let me tell you more about this PTW. I picked this up used. It used to be an 07 PTW. Came with a lot of different stuff. Came with this prime Voltolor receiver, with some pretty nice trades on there, as you can see. Those are the Voltor trades. They are laser etched on. On this side, it's got like a skull, and it's got a pretty neat little phrase here. It says, "God will judge our enemies. We'll arrange the meeting." Which sounds pretty badass. The gun originally came with a standard Systema stock. It came with an extra one as well, the buffer tube, but it looks pretty beat up. It also came with a Mad Bull MK18 black rail system. It came with this enhanced trigger guard. The grip here was modified. The previous owner had shaved off that little notch here on the grip. I kind of like it. Feels much more comfortable. It also came with an ASAP plate. Came with 6 of these modified real PMags. Painted in black. This one in particular uses a Veneris internal. It came with 5 Celsius mags, which do function alright, but not as good as the Systema ones. It also came with 3 cylinders, a red one, gold one, and a black one. And what else did it come with? It also came with 2 batteries, but I don't even use them now. I use a LiPo. I picked this up a few days ago. It's a Firefox 11.1 LiPo 1100 mAh stick type battery, which fits in the buffer tube, which I will go over in a minute. You need to change some stuff out in order to have this configuration. But let's talk about a little bit more about what I've done to the PTW. Of course, as you can see, I based this off of a MK18 build. I basically kept the rail system on and the barrel and everything, except changed out pretty much all the internals and some aesthetic stuff on the outside. Starting from the rear, I've changed out the Systema stock to a VFC salt mod, just because I just don't like this little rubber thing here. When you rub it, this black stuff actually kind of peels off and it gets everywhere. It gets a little bit annoying, so I just took this off. But it is a nice stock. I mean, one thing very neat about this one is that you can just squeeze these 2 tabs to the back, and this whole plate just pops out, and you can slide your battery in there. The VFC has the same function, except it's got like an extra piece or something. But moving up the gun, I have a GMP KC 600 meter flip-up sight. I've also got a VFC KC flip sight. KC, of course, if you don't know, stands for Knights Armament Company. Very nice. These sights are very nice. They're low profile, and they are much smaller than the Magpul M-buses or any Chore sights you see out there. The optic is a Hurricane XPS. This one is the auto brightness adjustment version, which actually changes the brightness depending on how bright you're using it in or whatever, outside or indoors. It has red and green reticles, as you can see. It's got 11, or actually 20 points of adjustments, and it's probably one of the best XPSs out there. Hurricane makes some really nice EOTech clones. They're probably the best out there. moving up the gun, we've got a Element PEC 15 here. We've also got a VFC V3X as a clone of the M3X. And we've also got an Element double switch pad on the side. Unfortunately, this plug doesn't work with the VFC one. I gotta cut this off and solder the VFC plug one in so it works. But right now, it's not working right now. I've also got some ladder covers on the side and the top. Protects my rails and it feels comfortable. The rails don't dig into my hands now with the ladder covers on, so it's pretty convenient. The flash header I have on here is a SCAR type flash header made by Dytac. Pretty nice. It's got it's QD and suppressor capable. Comes with a suppressor as well. Screws on pretty quick, and you're done. It's installed. Makes the gun look pretty cool. Take it off, you just twist it, spin it, it comes right off. Now, speaking of the internals, I've done a lot to it, as I said before. Basically changed out everything with the help of Ali at Airsoft Gear. These guys here, they're awesome. They helped me pretty much fix this PTW up. And it functions like a dream now. It's going to be my workhorse for the next few years. So, but anyways, let's get to the inside and I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I've done to it. All of the electronics have been replaced with Fight Club custom parts, excuse me, short form FCC. They are a Hong Kong-based brand that make custom PTW parts ranging from barrels, receivers, electronics, stocks, everything, you name it, even grips, and motors. The stuff that I have in here is the FCC ECU. One thing that's really cool about this particular ECU is that it allows me to switch from full auto to burst just by taking this ECU out and switching a little switch to the left side, I think. I don't remember. But right now it is set on burst mode, so I'll probably change it out to auto later on down the road. But right now I think it's shoots pretty great burst. Another thing I have here is the FCC, what do you even call that? Selector electronics, which is actually a just a circuit board inside that tells the gun to shoot in semi or auto or whatever it is that you have on here. In this case, burst. Really isn't a need to change it out, but since the gun is like, it's an 07 PTW and the electronics are like 5 years old, I just wanted to replace it. Plus, FCC parts are rated to, I guess, they work a little bit better in the moisture and they don't short as easily as standard Systema ones. I'll put a link to their channel below so you guys can check out some of their products. Another FCC product I have in here is a mini MOSFET. It shortens the MOSFET, or the stock PTW MOSFET, and allows me to put a battery inside. Standard PTW MOSFET is around this big, I think, and the FCC one is this big. Shortens it around half, I guess, or less. And it allows me to stick this battery, a LiPo 11-1, into the buffer tube, which I will show you right now. Boom. It goes in. I know right now my wire is a bit too long. I gotta shorten it. But it does fit in the buffer tube. It allows me to use a CTR stock or something like that, which is pretty cool. I did run into some trouble when installing some of the FCC parts. Actually, another FCC part in particular is is this FCC Badass Selector switch. Probably one of the best purchases I've ever made. It's better than the. It's easier to use than the standard PTW selector switch. Not that not that it had any problems before, but I just like the look of this one better, and it's a little bit, it sticks out a little bit more, protrudes out of the receiver, so even with gloves it's easier to switch from safe to semi or full auto. As you can see, it's pretty nice. It's made from CNC aluminum. The whole shaft inside that goes inside the gun is steel, so you don't have to worry about it stripping. The gearbox has also been replaced entirely with a PTW Supermax gearbox. Again, Ali from Airsoft Gear helped me do that, and that's when I ran into a slight problem. I was putting the gun together at the shop, and the ECU fit really tight into the gearbox. At the time, I didn't think any of it. I just thought it was normal. After I put everything together, plugged the battery in and tried to pull the trigger, it didn't shoot. Nor did it shoot on auto or anything like that. Even when a bolt catch was down, it did not shoot. And what Ali found out was that the gun would shoot when switching from safe to semi, and only when you switched from safe to semi, which was kind of odd. I left the gun there overnight. Ali managed to, well, he spent like, I guess, hours on it throughout the night, and he figured out what the problem was. He singled it out to the trigger, and found that the trigger was actually exerting too much force onto the ECU, which is why it felt so tight when I pushed it in. There's this little switch on the ECU that is pressed by the trigger, and because of that, it caused it to malfunction. And he didn't really charge me a lot for it either. Pretty nice guy. The guys at Airsoft Gear, they're pretty experienced with this kind of stuff, especially Ali. He's very good with bolt guns and PTWs, and he was a great help when building this PTW. But anyways, guys, I'm going to show you some of the cylinders, or one of the cylinders. This is the red one. Ali helped me replace the 500 FPS spring inside here and switched it out with the gold cylinder spring. So the cylinder, which is rated for a 500 FPS spring, now has a 400 FPS spring in there. So it's going to last quite a while. Ali even taught me how to maintain this thing. It's pretty simple. You just got to screw this thing off and do whatever it is, but I don't think I would have been able to figure it out by myself, because this is my first PTW and I'm pretty new to this stuff. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys what it sounds like. This thing sounds like a beast. It's pretty nice. I'm probably going to bring the hop up to Airsoft Gear and check out if it's already been modded. If not, I can get them to do it. Probably. They do a good job with this stuff, so... Anyways, let's stick this bad boy in, and let's get this going. Oh yeah, one more problem. Since, well, just another addition to this info I'm giving you. Ali actually figured out that, well, he kind of hypothesized that this PTW wasn't an original PTW. This was actually a Franken gun, meaning it was built from different parts, which is why some of the stuff was off-spec. Even the selector that came with the gun was too big for the gearbox. It didn't even fit in this. It would jam. So, I don't know what was going on with the previous owner, but he didn't do a good job maintaining this gun. Another problem, slight problem, very small, very minor, was when after Ali installed the gearbox, this gear right here was actually scratching on the side of the upper receiver, which I fixed by filing it down, as you can see. That silver part right there. It doesn't really damage your gears, especially since the gears are made of titanium, but you know, it's an issue that needs to be fixed to prevent further wear on the upper receiver. Yeah. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the build. Finally got my PTW working. So, but anyways, I'm going to show you guys what it sounds like. It sounds pretty beast. Just plug it in. And here we go. So your semi. As you can see, the trigger response is amazing. Burst. Very cool. I'm still kind of used to shooting semi even after shooting full auto on the PTW. I mean, you don't need to do it for PTW, but I'm just used to doing that with the standard AEG. Because sometimes on the standard AEG, as you guys, probably most of you know, is that sometimes the piston can still be compressed because it doesn't actually have active braking. So with the PTW it does, and I don't think you'll run into a problem with that, but it's just, you know, just for good measure. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this PTW. I had a lot of fun building it. The guys at Airsoft Gear helped me a lot. I'm going to finally have my gun finished and ready to play for the weekend. Big thanks to Ali at Airsoft Gear who helped me put this baby together. You guys go check them out. They have a store in Richmond. You can check out their website, airsoftgear.ca. They got a lot of stuff. They got a lot of stuff there. They got pistols, AEGs. I think they even have gas blowbacks. So you guys should check them out if you guys are nearby. If you're local, I highly encourage you guys to go check them out. Support your local airsoft store. Don't always go online and purchase stuff elsewhere, because yeah, it's just fun helping out you guys from the same place. But anyways, thanks for watching. This has been a video on my custom PTW. Again, thanks Airsoft Gear and FCC for providing the parts. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.